In a year packed with massive open-world releases, one game promised to push ambition to the absolute limit. A world bigger than ever, brutal combat, dragons to ride, and a sandbox filled with endless possibilities. But does Crimson Desert truly deliver on the hype, or does its massive scale become its biggest weakness? Today, we're diving deep into one of the most ambitious games of 2026, exploring its world, breaking down its combat, and finding out whether it's actually worth your time and money. This is Video Game Clipster, and this is our full review of Crimson Desert. Crimson Desert has easily been one of the most hyped games of 2026. From massive battles to dragon riding and an enormous open world, the expectations were sky high. After spending more than 70 hours exploring its vast landscapes, it's clear that Crimson Desert is one of the most ambitious games in recent years. But ambition doesn't always mean perfection. This is a game that constantly impresses you with scale, systems, and freedom, yet at the same time frustrates you with pacing, storytelling, and clunky mechanics. Crimson Desert is both breathtaking and overwhelming. Let's break it down. Story and characters, strong lore, weak emotional impact. Crimson Desert takes place in the medieval fantasy continent of Pywell. You play as Cliff, a mercenary from a group called the Greymanes. Early in the game, the Greymanes are ambushed by their rivals, the Black Bears. Cliff is killed during the battle, but is mysteriously resurrected with supernatural powers, connected to a strange realm known as the Abyss. From here, the story follows Cliff as he searches for surviving members of his crew, explores the continent, and uncovers the secrets behind his resurrection and the mysterious forces shaping the world. The premise is strong, but the execution struggles. Cliff is clearly designed as a brooding, silent protagonist, but instead of feeling mysterious, he ends up feeling emotionally flat. The game rarely gives meaningful character moments, and as a result, it's difficult to connect with his journey. Supporting characters also fail to leave a lasting impression. Many of them appear briefly and disappear without proper development. The pacing jumps between events too quickly, and the story often feels like an afterthought compared to exploration and gameplay. The lore itself is interesting, and some boss encounters are memorable, but the narrative never reaches its full potential. If you're expecting a deeply emotional story, this is where Crimson Desert disappoints the most. Open world and exploration, massive, detailed, and overwhelming. Crimson Desert's biggest strength is its open world. The map is enormous, with multiple biomes including mountains, forests, deserts, and massive towns. Each region looks distinct and packed with detail. The environments feel alive, filled with NPCs, wildlife, and dynamic events. Exploration is the core pillar of the game. You travel mainly by horseback, but you can also ride dragons, bears, and other mounts. Fast travel is limited, encouraging players to explore naturally. There's also a second layer of exploration called the Abyss, floating sky islands filled with puzzles and platforming challenges. These sections reward curiosity and experimentation. The game rarely holds your hand, making discovery feel more satisfying. Still, the massive scale also creates issues. Because the map is so large, not every area feels meaningful. You'll spend a lot of time traveling long distances. Sometimes it feels like content exists just to fill space. The world is beautiful, but occasionally overwhelming. Still, when exploration works, it's incredible. Sandbox gameplay. Freedom with MMO-style busywork. Crimson Desert is packed with side activities. You can fish, mine, craft, build bases, play mini-games, interact with NPCs, and explore countless optional systems. The amount of content is impressive. However, this MMO-style design introduces a lot of busywork. Resource gathering is slow, crafting requires grinding, early progression can feel tedious, some mechanics feel unnecessarily complex. Menus are layered, inventory fills quickly, and interactions sometimes feel clunky. These small frustrations build over time. The game constantly switches between exciting exploration and repetitive grinding. There are moments where Crimson Desert feels incredible, and moments where it feels exhausting. Combat. Challenging, stylish, but slightly clunky. Combat is one of the strongest aspects of this game. You have access to swords, axes, bows, guns, magic, and hand-to-hand combat. Each weapon class feels distinct, and animations are smooth and detailed. Regular combat encounters feel satisfying. Boss fights are challenging and require strategy, timing, and learning attack patterns. These fights feel inspired by Souls-like games. However, combat has some issues. Dodging and evasion can feel slightly unresponsive during chaotic battles. Target lock sometimes behaves unpredictably during combat sequences. Long-range combat lacks polish, pushing players towards melee combat. Despite these flaws, combat remains fun and rewarding, especially during boss fights. Progression system, unique but overwhelming. Instead of traditional leveling, Crimson Desert uses artifacts collected from puzzles and bosses. These are used to upgrade health, stamina, magic, and skills. You can also reset your build anytime, allowing flexibility in combat. This encourages experimentation with different playstyles. However, the control scheme takes time to learn. Combined with complex menus, the early hours can feel overwhelming. The game throws many systems at you at once. Graphics, audio, and performance. Technical showcase. Visually, Crimson Desert is stunning. The world is highly detailed, lighting is beautiful, and environments feel immersive. Towns look alive, landscapes are breathtaking, and weather effects add realism. The audio design is also impressive. The soundtrack fits the medieval setting perfectly, and voice acting is solid. Combat sounds and environmental audio enhance immersion. Performance is well optimized. Even with high settings, the game runs smoothly. This is clearly a technical showcase and one of the most visually impressive open-world games in recent years. What works? Massive open world, beautiful environments, strong combat system, tons of activities, great exploration, solid performance, unique progression system. What doesn't work? Weak story, forgettable characters, clunky mechanics, slow early progression, overwhelming systems, MMO-style busywork, and complex menus. Story, 6.5 out of 10. Open world, 9 out of 10. Combat, 8 out of 10. Gameplay systems, 7.5 out of 10. Graphics and audio, 9.5 out of 10. Performance, 9 out of 10. Final score, 8 out of 10. Crimson Desert is a massive, ambitious open-world game that delivers incredible exploration, strong combat, and a visually stunning world. However, weak storytelling and MMO-style busywork hold it back from becoming a masterpiece. If you love sandbox gameplay and exploration, this is absolutely worth playing. But if you're looking for a strong, story-driven experience, you may find yourself disappointed. Crimson Desert is beautiful, ambitious, and packed with content, but sometimes its biggest strength is also its biggest weakness. Crimson Desert is bold, ambitious, and visually stunning. It offers a massive world to explore, satisfying combat, and endless sandbox possibilities. But at the same time, weak storytelling and MMO-style busywork prevent it from reaching true greatness. Still, if you're looking for a huge open world where you can create your own adventure, Crimson Desert absolutely delivers a unique experience. And that's why here at Video Game Clipster, we're giving Crimson Desert a solid 8 out of 10. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Video Game Clipster, and turn on notifications for more honest gaming reviews, upcoming releases, and hidden gems. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Game on!